It is the end of August, and if you do the math, if you add $173 plus 20 minus 11 plus 115.50, I'm up 297.50. Basically 300 for the month. Damn. Hey guys, it's Will. Welcome to the channel. I'm a part-time day trader trying to become a full-time. In August, I only took 3 trades in August. That is very little, but somehow I'm up. My win rate for the month is technically 100% because I had 3 winning days, but this trading day over here was 2 trades. This $11 was supposed to be a break-even trade, but sometimes the order gets filled, sometimes there's volume, so my trade just goes above my break even and I just lose somehow. What I also implemented in this month was 1 trade a day. I'm only allowed to take 1 trade a day, and that is it. But for this day, I did break even, so I'm able to take another trade. It's hard to show stats because I'm only paper trading, so I'm not able to see my risk reward. But if I do just put the risk reward on paper, I'm probably about just a little over 2 to 1 my risk reward, and then my losses are obviously 1R. I am going to break down these trades, and I'll also play the live trades because I only have 3 trades, honestly. This dollar amount is probably one of my highest, is because I am risking a bit more. That is just the Nasdaq and ES. I'm trading the futures, so they're a bit more. Even if I divide it in half, this will still be my biggest month that I ever traded, if I'm just comparing it to my lower amount size trading. So it is probably the best month I have, and it's also 100%. On April, if you guys remembered, I had 80% win rate, but August, I was just 100%. So pretty happy with that. Although I didn't take a lot of trades, honestly, I don't really care about that. And also this month, there was 2 weeks, which was this week. I think the second week of August, I did not take any trades at all. So all I did was just watch my computer, watch my screen. Although it may be simple to just watch the markets and take no trades, is actually a really hard thing to do, because I used to be trying to trade every single day, take multiple trades in a day, and it's simple, but not a lot of traders can do that. Not a lot of traders are able to sit on their desk and just do nothing. I am going to break down the first trade, which is $173, and that was August 1st. So I'm going to go to my session recap. I'm going to go all the way down to August 1st, and this is what I have right here. $173. Right here is my game plan that I started writing down. You guys can read it if you guys want. Here is the 30-minute time frame, and what I do on an intraday basis is the break and retest. That is my main strategy. I only look for break and retests. I play off the previous day's levels because that's a big part of my strategy, and I also play supply and demand. So what I see in the previous day was that this area was the previous day's lows, which is the red dashed lines, and the previous day's highs is the green dashed lines right here. I marked that out for the Nasdaq here, and I marked that out for the ES. And this is basically how I'm looking at my charts. I look at 2 charts, and I look at it in the 2 minutes when I trade. So what I charted out was the previous day's levels, and that the market is weak. So my bias in coming to today is that the market is weak, so I'm trying to short the market. Unless it reclaims levels, then maybe I'll take longs. Since we're under the previous day's levels, I could wait for a retest. This whole area is the pre-market, and we're already breaking down below the previous day's levels. My strategy is the break and retest, so I'll look at retest of the previous day's levels. But since that we're already far gone that level, now we have the pre-market low, which is right there that I marked out on both of the levels. So I know that the market is weak. We can see that there's a big downtrend coming down. We're under the previous day's levels. If we break that pre-market low level, I'm interested for a retest short. And then I go to the 2-minute time frame. If I'm looking at the charts, you see that the levels are the same levels. This is the 2-minute time frame now. You see that the low of the pre-market low that I marked out right there, it hits right there. And then on the ES, it does the same thing exactly at that level. Then 9:30 comes, the market opens. What I see is that we just fell underneath this level. And then what I do is the break and retest. I wait for the break of the level. I wait for it to retest. It has to give me that retest into the level, show me that there's rejections on the level. Then once I see rejections, I take it for a short. I get a 2 to 1 target, I get 3 to 1 target, whatever target you want. For this case, I had a 3 to 1 target right there. I waited for the retest, it started rejecting, and once it actually started breaking back below this candle right here, you see how the green candle closed? I waited for the red candle, the next candle, to break under that, and then once I saw that, I took my entry, put my stop loss right above this wick, and then I just got my 3 to 1 target right there. And the ES did the exact same thing, broke down, retest, and you could take the ES as well, but I took the Nasdaq. I don't really want to give it this 6,300 on the ES, so I just took the Nasdaq. And this trade was a 3 to 1, but I could have got a 4 to 1, I could have got a 5 to 1, I could have got a 6 to 1 right here, but I just didn't take it. I'm going to play the live trade now, and then I'll break down the next trade. Now we're on August 14th. This is where I won $20, and you guys can see my game plan again. Honestly, this is just me writing whatever I see. I'm just writing whatever relates to me, whatever I just want to write. You guys can write whatever you guys want. I'm just showing you guys what I'm writing. Go to the 30-minute time frame. What I see again, the market has a previous day's levels right here, the red dashed lines on both charts, and also the pre-market low also tapped that area as well. But the low of the pre-market was actually this area right here on the Nasdaq, and it was all-time highs. Had the same thing on the ES. I had this zone right here, and I was planning to do a retest short if it did break this zone right here, which was already below, the market was already below this level right here. And I wasn't really sure if I want to short this level for a retest because this zone is too close that I might just not get my 3-to-1 target, which I normally want to target. And there's so many demand zones in this area, and the market was bullish. If I go to the 1 hour chart on the Nasdaq, let's say, it's like we are in a bullish structure, and then we are retesting. This is basically the break, and this is a retest of the bigger time frame for a long right there. I didn't really want long because I don't like retesting like this until it reclaims levels. But once I saw on intraday, once I go to the 2-minute time frame and look at the trade, I started seeing this big candle, the 2-minute candle. This breaks above this previous day's lows, so it's reclaiming previous day's lows, and it's also retesting on the bigger time frame of the all-time highs. This was basically the retest for the long and also reclaimed the previous day's lows, and it did the same in both markets. So I got a nice break, which I liked seeing. I started seeing the bear flag into the retest level right there, and then I took the trade right there on the ES. You could take the trade on the Nasdaq, but it was too far of a risk, and I didn't really like the charts as much, and I liked the ES better. It had a better bull flag. I meant to say bull flag, and then that's where I took my position. I was supposed to target a 3-to-1. I actually ended up taking only a $20 win, and I was scared of this CPI low that brought the market down, so I just only targeted a 2-to-1. But I should have stuck to my plan and targeted 3-to-1, which I would have got right here, or I think over here would have got my 3-to-1. And I did sell out because I was getting scared, and that's something that's going to be normal, at least for now. I'm just trying to work on it. I'm just selling it out too early. That's what happens on a uptrend or even a downtrend. The market always goes up, and down, and it's never gonna be a straight up move. Like my earlier trade, I just got scared and I sold out, and I didn't need to because I would have won in the trade. So that's why I only locked in $20. That is it for this trade. I'm gonna play the live trade now and then break down the last trading day. Here we are on the last trading day. This is August 19th, and I did take 2 trades, but my first trade was a break even, but I did lose $11 from the fill order, and then the next trade I won $115. If I look at the 1 hour time frame, what I see on the market is that the market is going up, and then now it's kind of retracing back into like a demand zone. It basically could be that we're bullish because it's basically showing a bear or bull flag into like demand zone, and this could be the next long. It doesn't mean it'll be like a strong market unless it reclaims levels. I did mark out my previous day's lows, and I also had my pre-market low right there, and that all I did was wait for a break and retest under that zone. I had that zone, waiting for the break, retest, and short, and that's what I got in the trade. If I go to my 2-minute time frame, this is what I see in the morning. It breaks down, it retests the zone, and then I started seeing reject to a pre-market low and the previous day's lows. I got in this green arrow candle right there, and then I took the trade. Although the ES was doing something a bit different because it was still holding this pre-market low and it was still like sliding up, and that might have scared me to get in the trade, but I still got in the trade because I was just taking the Nasdaq instead. It was sliding up slowly and reclaiming the level, or it's not breaking down, so I did sell out on my Nasdaq zone right there, but I got a 2-to-1 target. So once I get a 2-to-1 target, I moved my stop to break even, and I did get stopped out right there, and I actually lost $11, which that sucks. But then I started seeing it reject again, and then I took my second entry right there. I targeted 3-to-1, and I should have got my 3-to-1, but I got scared again, and I just locked in my profits at 2-to-1 right there. Still a good trade, but it's not the best risk reward because my target was 3-to-1. I wasn't able to hold to my target because I was just getting scared again that I might just be break even again, and I should just lock in my profits, and it was getting closer to this demand zone. But I should just trust my process and just hold until my actual target. I'm going to play the live trade now and then break down the current day. This is currently August 29th, which is the Friday, the last week of the trading month. I did see a trade, but I wasn't too confident in the trade, so I didn't take the trade. I'm gonna break down how I saw the charts. This whole week was a chop because of this holding this channel the whole damn week that I just didn't take a trade. And then once it finally actually broke, it did break the channel on Thursday, but it wasn't too clear, so I didn't take a trade. And then Friday, I did see a potential trade, but I didn't take the trade. Why I thought the trade was going to be a decent trade was because this area was my zone that I had on the charts, that area right there. And what happened was it broke above, so that it shows that there's strength, but then later it filled back the next day, and that if I did get a retest, I can short the market because that area is still a strong level on the market. But the thing is, it's not super clear, that I just wasn't really sure if it will be the best. It broke the previous day, then later it filled back the next day, so the market is going to be weak again. And then I go to the 2-minute time frame. This is what I see. I did have my zone right there. This was also the pre-market low right here. But the thing is, the market also had the previous day's lows right here, so I didn't know if I shorted the market, it will just react to this previous day's lows and then go back higher. So I wasn't really sure if I wanted to take the trade. The ES was also doing some random things as well, so it wasn't really aligning to my strategy. But this looks pretty A plus to me. Although I didn't take the trade, it sucks that I didn't take the trade, but I knew that it wasn't my game plan. So I'm gonna stick to my game plan and not trade it. This is because it's almost like you're making a promise to someone and then you're breaking the promise, and then you guys don't have no trust anymore. So what was the point of like promising that friend? What was the point of doing that if the other person is not able to trust you? I'm just saying random things, but I want to keep my promises. I want to make a game plan and follow my game plan. And if I break my rules, then I'm basically just doing random trades. A lot of times, like even this time when it broke down, it was retesting the previous day's lows. I said I could take the trade, but that wasn't my game plan. Like if I take that trade, I'm just like chasing the trade. And this is what I used to do in the past. Like I'm not gonna chase a trade because it was not part of my game plan. I'm gonna stick to my game plan, and I know that if I follow my system, I can be profitable, and I know that I can win in the long run. Sometimes also it's better to just like watch the market and just not do anything. A couple of times this month, I basically just watched the markets and the play played out, but it wasn't my game plan, so I didn't take a trade. But in the future, I can add it into my game plan, and that I will take the trade in the future. But I was just not really trusting this level right here because it was like choppy and stuff. So I just didn't take a trade. That is the end of August. Hope you guys enjoyed the recap. And what I like to say is how you do one thing is how you do everything. Keep staying disciplined, keep staying consistent, and let's just get 1% better every day. And I'll see you in the next one.